much so.
What?
You got it. You're alright. You're alright. You're right. You're alright. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. You can't drive the car like this.
So what are we gonna do now?
Well, we're gonna try and get another radiator. Calling a favor with somebody at work and get them to come up, even though it's really a far drive. But start making some calls and see what we can do. We'll pull the fans. It's all really pretty hot in here, but we'll pull the fans off. Looks like we should be able to get the radiator out from the top without too much drama. And then we'll put another one in. Hey, how's work? We need a GTI radiator. You guys are really far away though, so.
Does that mean we're done?
Oh, come on. You can't give up like that.
I don't, is that what it means?
We have a backup plan is we're getting a radiator from like AutoZone, an OEM radiator, but they don't have it until 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh.
So Taylor and Shirk are headed up to Wisconsin, which is basically a slight detour from here.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna bring one up from the shop.
Really?
Oh, hell yes.
So ECS is in Wadsworth, Ohio. Gingerman is in South Haven, Michigan. So Taylor, one of our marketing planners, just so happens to be leaving ECS to visit some family in Chicago. So Taylor's actually leaving ECS in Wadsworth now with a new radiator and bringing it over to us here at Gingerman. Problem solved.
They put them together at the factory is radiator, condenser, intercooler, core support, impact bar is all one assembly, and then they literally just set the rebar on, and then they have these really neat like quick disconnect style fittings. So once it's in the car, it's just like click, click, everything's done. What we're trying to do is avoid taking the reinforcement bar off, avoid having to discharge the AC system, and basically slide this core support forward and down just enough to allow the radiator then come back and up. So we're gonna try and like split the difference in movement and just slip it up out of there because we still have a 5-hour drive back and it's summertime, so we'd like to keep the AC intact. But yeah, it should hopefully be pretty straightforward. Maybe another 10 or so minutes worth of work and we'll be all set. Perfect.
Yum.
Frame where you can touch it. Yep, you're gonna have.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, here, can you pull that drain pin out now? Theoretically, there's no reason we can't use that.
Well, we got fresh stuff coming. It was a valiant effort. We got the little pads there to help absorb some of it. Is that what you caught?
No, that's what I'm drinking.
Oh, I was like, wow. Chris, where are we at? All right, about 5 hours later, our team at ECS came through and we met a little bit, not quite halfway, but we've got our replacement radiator now. We got some hoses, we have some coolant. So we're gonna swap this in. Now we've had the radiator out, I've had time to go over everything while people were picking up parts. And we found the rock that hit the radiator. Bad luck, but that's why you have to be prepared to wrench a little bit. So we're gonna slap this baby in and I think we'll be good to go for tomorrow. Knock on wood.
Honestly, go for like if you were like a novice installer in like the leading position.
Yeah.
See the logo.
It looks like the only free thing is to take these off.
Oh yeah, nice. Came with new hardware here too.
Dope.
So we got the top. Oh, that's nice. That's actually a good call out. I didn't know either, but it has the hardware that we took out, so really easy. Oh, let's slap her in. I hope you have this documented. First time in car history that two 10mm have been used on a car at the same time. So this is the original condenser from South America, and you can just see, here, look up here. This is what it should look like. See a nice pass-through, clean airflow. This is basically an air dam. Like if this were my car, I would probably take the condenser out, but it's a shop car, it's got to do more things, but we'll put a condenser on order and we'll replace this, and I think we'll get a lot better airflow through here. But we're basically blocking off the bottom half of the radiator, and until you have the bumper off, you really can't see this. So it sucks that it happened that we cracked the radiator, but you know, now we know what to improve between events. Again, if your car didn't go to South America, you probably don't have this problem. So I don't think it's going to help much, but we're trying to get maximum radiator airflow because we're having a little bit of overheating issues. Not overheating, but running hot. And this is a e-Gulf grill, so some of the cells are plugged. And so we're basically just going to drill them out and try and keep it as pretty as we can while doing it trackside and get the maximum amount of airflow over the radiator that we can, because we're trying to fight for every degree this weekend. Now that I have a little bit of perforation like on a piece of paper, I'm gonna try and pry it up, break the first couple loose, and then hopefully the rest work like a piece of paper. radiator leak. We've got our whole team together from Akron, and they were able to deliver us some parts up to South Haven, Michigan. We're at here at Gingerman, and we slapped a new CSF radiator in, buttoned everything up. We've added some drilled out holes in the grill and upper rad support to get a little more airflow to the radiator, and we removed some of the factory flaps on the fan shroud just to try and encourage more radiator flow. It's going to be pretty minimal, like what those flaps are going to do, but every little degree is going to help. And right now they're fitting the final bits of the bumper down to the under tray, and we should be in business. We'll fire it up, add some water and water wetter, and keep this train moving tomorrow.
So similar to the last weekend at Mid-Ohio, a lot of braking points, passing in new zones down. But since this track is a lot less straight than Mid-Ohio, really just working on those braking points.
So we had an incident with the radiator. We got that all fixed up. How's the car driving?
It's good to go. It's a little wet out there, so it's sliding quite a bit. But as it dries out, I think it's not as slick as Mid-Ohio, I guess, is what I want to say. So in the rain, I have a lot more traction than previously. So I was having a little bit of trouble in my first run, finding out where the line is because it was wet. You know, trying to figure out what the medium was, either the race line or the wet line, maybe kind of doing a little bit of both. But because I don't know the race line yet, it was a little like, okay, well, where should I be at? So there was a couple turns where I was holding it too tight with too much speed and kind of wanted to push me out because it was wet. So that was a fun experience, but I think as it dries out, I'll be able to hold it a little tighter with more throttle.
This is an Apex Pro. It's a new device that we're introducing for this session. It is an active feedback lap timer. It has a series of LEDs on it that the more green it is, the faster you're going than previous times you've been through that same section of track at the same time. I did a little demo of it with her yesterday during test and tune, so it's not totally foreign, but super simple. At least give her some live coaching on the fly when I can't be in the car.
So this is one where I don't go all the way to the inside. So I wait until that white mark beside the cone, and then you want to go far left as you can. Get all the way out there, all the way left. You want your tire all the way on the left, all the way on the left. Wait, wait, wait. Now turn in and hug the right edge. Hug it. Stay right, stay right, stay right. Now back. Apex in and just hammer it. You're good. So hammer it and go wide, and then hook it around. There you go. Yep. Turn in. Over this concrete. Hold. No. Okay. You tighten up the steering. Don't
tighten it?
No. You want it to go right and then left, and now here to tighten it and then hammer it through. Yep. Okay. So you had a nice entry coming into this. You went out to the concrete on the left, but keep the right turn in. Okay. Come in. Let it go wide. Let it go wide. Holding the steering input. Hold it. Go off to the right. Off to the right. And this box right there, now turn in. Yeah, and hammer it across the concrete and shoot across. Far right. Very good.
Got it.
Yeah. So you can hoof through here, but you're going to have to hit the brakes up here.
Here?
Yep, right here. Hook it in, and then start powering out of it. Yep. Very good. See how it kind of just tightens up and it pinches?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. The first time I kind of like went in blind and no one was with me, so I wasn't quite sure.
Right. Okay, here turn in and go wide. Go as far wide as you can and get way out there, way out there, way out there. Just past the cone. Now wrap it in, hug the right, parallel the right edge. At that mark, turn it in, go wide. Well, okay, you were just a little sharp on that, on that turn in. Allow it to go out. Hold in the steering. Very good. Yeah, the keys to opening up the steering as soon as you get the car pointed in, because we started to scrub off a little bit too much speed there. Stay left. Yeah, I would say if you're going to fix one thing, it's stay. Okay, so all the way to the right, all the way to the right. Now go left under power. Yeah, okay, now obviously we aren't going to pass him. So just stay on the outside.
Okay.
And just see how you like that all the way out there. Keep steering ahead so you don't cheat anything. Yep. And then wrap it up and then power through. Yep. Very good.
Yeah, that was a lot better.
You like that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. You did a good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate any feedback, so.
Well, I would say the biggest thing, other than working on the line, is concentrating on staying left or staying to the edge of the track before you turn.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I do know that's one thing at Mid-Ohio that I kept doing is like I'm anticipating, and so I like start to drift in.
Right. And it does take a conscious effort because you're looking into the turn and you just want to pull.
Right. Look where you want to go, and so it goes.
Right. Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is going to be, that, and then looking beyond the turn so that when you feel like you aren't going to make it, don't increase that and cause it to push.
Right.
Roll off the throttle. Don't snap it off, but roll it off. In the front end will actually grab better and do that.
I think what I was like feeling is like there's not enough track over there, but then I think it's more just because I can't see it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I need to.
You just have to know it's there.
Overcorrect, yeah.
You have to know it's there.
Right.
There we go. All right. Cool. Nice job.
Thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
Yep. And I'll see you at the download.
Sounds good.
Okay, Ellen, so what are we going to learn on this one?
Chris and Joey talked and they said I need to keep my elbow on the corners before I go to turn because when I'm looking ahead I drift over like I had mentioned before. So if I keep my elbow on like the door, should help anchor me until I'm ready to actually turn because I'm looking where I need to go and that's why I'm drifting over. So that, and then the first 2 laps we're doing the offline drill again. So.
And what is that?
So when you're not following the race line, or if you're passing, you need to follow a different line. So we're gonna do 1 lap to the left and then 1 lap to the right. I'm hoping that the first 2 laps when we do the drills, that the wheels will warm up because I know this is the first time we're gonna have them on track all weekend, so they're gonna be hard and cold. So hopefully those first 2 laps will get them warmed up so I can give it all of it after that.
Do you feel yourself getting faster each time?
Yeah, for sure. As I learn the line more, I can definitely feel like, oh, that was better than the last one because the last one I went really slow and either gave it too much or just it wasn't a right exit, apex too soon. But as I learn, I definitely notice a difference. Was that a point by?
That was a point by.
I didn't want to hit him. I was scared that I was way too far over in his line.
Too early of turning there again.
Okay.
You're drifting. Let's just reset yourself, right? Get
Okay.
back on your driving line, drive your line. Don't worry about this traffic yet.
They're like right on me though.
Yep, get your point out. Braking zone, braking zone, braking zone. Okay, late. Good. Look at that cone. Look at that cone. Look at that cone. You got it.
Ooh.
All right. You need a little less throttle on your turns.
I just feel like I don't have it. I don't know what it is.
Have it.
I don't know. I'm just like all over the place, I feel like.
Well, the best advice I can give you is to run your line, okay? And then add speed every lap. So a couple of our turns, you've been mashing the gas and doing the burnout to get out as fast as you can.
All right.
Just cut it back. Run your line and then add throttle as you get more and more comfortable. Don't try and do all the parts at one time. Look at that cone. Look at that cone. Good. Good. Too much throttle. You got it. You're all right. You're all right. You're right. You're all right. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. Too much throttle. You got it. You're all right. You're all right. You're right. You're all right. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. Too much throttle. You got it. You're all right. You're all right. You're right. You're all right. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. Too much throttle. You got it. You're all right. You're all right. You're right. You're all right. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. Too much throttle. You got it. You're all right. You're all right. You're right. You're all right. 2 feet in. 2 feet in. You're okay. You're okay. Restart the car.
Get back on.
Can you see in your mirror?
Yeah. There's.
Start to roll forward.
Can't see now.
You're good.
Okay.
Keep it offline here. Keep it offline. All the way on the inside. You're alright. Shake it off. You're alright. First spin in the books. What do you think happened? Let's just replay it while it's fresh.
I feel like it was just like too much throttle.
I agree.
Wow, we went off track just a little. 360 turn, grass flying, dirt in the car. Gave it too much throttle.
Gave it too many beans.
How'd it feel?
It was kind of scary, not gonna lie.
She did a good job with recovery. Everybody spins, right? It's gonna happen. There's a Miata here who hasn't spun.
I don't know, that whole run just fell off, and then that happened, and I was just like...
Yeah, she wants to go too fast too soon. That's about it. And she's just applying throttle a little too aggressive, like before apex.
Just want to mash the beans.
Yep, she wants to give it the beans too much. But it's very correctable, so it's very consistent. This is what we were saying in the car. Having a consistent problem is okay, because we fix it, you fix it for the whole track. So like, line is pretty good. Have a little bit of drifting yet in a couple of turns before corner entry, but on the turns that matter, that set up really fast straights, she's got those all down, and that's what we work on tomorrow. I think she's beating herself up because she like wants to be perfect right away, but it's all learning. This is all learning, and spinning is learning. Radiators braking is learning. Everything is a learning, and we're still here. We're okay. Nope, nothing hit. We went to Black Flag Station. No debris hanging down. We weren't trailing a bunch of dirt or gravel. It's just part of it all.
So now you got one out of the way, though. The next one.
Oh yeah.
The next one.
We should be drift queen here pretty soon.
I don't know about that.
So what do you think? You think it was throttle application that got you?
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to mash it because I just want to go and I want to be fast. But it's just like you can't just be fast.
I told her this, even though she doesn't want to hear. This is definitely your mic.
That's because it ripped my hair out when I pulled it off.
I told her that it was an injustice to her that traction control fuse was in for her previous session, because it is sucking up all her extra throttle input, which is why I wanted to be sure it was pulled. In the rain, it's great. In the rain, bring it home safe. That's the point of it all. But for what we're doing, this is actually a really good back-to-back example of the problem with having every nanny in the world, is that it hides your inconsistencies. So now that we've identified it, there's a target to work on, and we'll get better tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Okay, 3 weeks in, am I at a good spot?
You're at a great spot. This is your third weekend doing this.
Right.
You're at a great spot.
Yesterday was very much learning the track, learning the line, and then the last session, you know, went off track, spun 360. So today is definitely working my way back up to where I was yesterday. Knocked me back down a couple pegs in confidence, so I gotta gain that back today.
So you're real early on a lot of your turns.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so wait a little bit longer in your turns.
Okay.
That might have been what happened in 3. You might have turned in a little early.
Right. And I've been carrying too much speed in through here, so I'm trying to work on that as well.
All right, so brake and drive straight to that cone.
Right here.
Yep, and then kind of outside, there you go, then straight to that one, then brake, and then dive in. There you go. One thing I've seen you're doing on the last couple is I know you want to get all the way outside, but you're driving to the outside.
Instead of letting it.
Yeah, let the car do its thing, and then you'll be able to see more where you're really ending up.
Right.
Instead of driving out there. So you're apexing that way too early.
Okay.
That's where you went off, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's why. And all the way out, and then brake, and then drive it right to that cone, and almost straight to that other cone, and then brake, and then dump it back in, all the way inside, all the way inside. There you go.
Good consistency on track, you know, follows lines fantastic, so you know, definitely from a HPDE2 driver, fantastic in that standpoint. You know, knows where the apexes are, follows the lines really well, understands traffic control, so we had a couple opportunities to make some passes, had some really fast cars out there, so you know, obviously they were coming up on us, so she gave perfect point by, so really good there. As people progress through that HPD program, one of the things they really look at is not necessarily the speed of the driver, but how they function around traffic, how they control the car, and she's got that hands down. So right now it's just working on finesse. So we had a couple items that we were looking on there. One was throttle control. So there was a couple times where she would instead of just being easy on and easy off the throttle when things would get a little loose, she was kind of stabbing the throttle. So we're going to work on a little bit of throttle control and pick a couple corners to let the car start drifting out instead of driving it out to the finish point after we hit the apexes. So we're hitting the apexes really good, but in order to get that car out there right now, she's driving it out. So what we want to do is start working on letting the car go out to the outside of the track as opposed to driving it. So we got 1 or 2 corners we're going to take and just work on upping the speed through that corner to let the car drift itself out instead of Ellen driving it out.
right here. So you come up, you come around, and this is that real tight, like, I think if this is that same lap, you would benefit by just like one more half car width, and then that'll set your, that'll set your car exit up a little better. Okay. And I just say that because it will decrease the amount of like tire slip you'll have too by making that a little
because I know it
better
does
of an
slip a
approach.
little here when I'm trying to like really push it out. Okay.
That was good setup. That was really good. Smooth transition. Looking ahead, nice. Good, look ahead. Look at your helmet going all the way over there. Oh, I'm so proud of that. Sounded like really good throttle application there. You can hear you waiting until after apex. Good. Yeah, that was good hold off. It looks better on here than it did on the map. So I would say you have 11 stitched up. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
I really think you're just down to that like 6, 7, 8. Try adding half a car.
Yeah.
Not full car, because I'll put you right out on the rumblies. Just try and add half a car, and I think it'll help your exit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. All right, good stuff.
All right.
High five.
Ready to go?
I have to be.
That doesn't sound very confident.